Hey guys, welcome to the Rug Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Aryan Devachi. Really excited to be here today. Wanted to give you guys a little bit of background about the show if you guys don't already know. For the last 20 plus years of me being in the rug industry and operating my rug finder business, I've had the pleasure of working with some talented interior designers, CEOs, executive entrepreneurs, successful business owners, athletes, celebrities, to name a few. Throughout this journey, I've had some really incredible conversations with people, not over area rugs, but just in general in the business world. Our next guest that we have on the show is a really close friend of mine, and I'm really excited to have him on. He's a singer-songwriter, a musician, a video producer. He's been a professional content creator for over 20 years. As a producer, he's created thousands of videos. He's even been in front of the camera, hosting the television shows of Best of the Bay and Best of LA. And recently was the live on-screen talent for Workday's biggest conference, Workday Rising in San Francisco. As a musician, he has composed hundreds of songs that have been released worldwide, from piano instrumentals to alternative rock and even Persian dance music. He's been playing piano since the age of 2 and is now releasing music under his name every 2 weeks throughout 2024. Guys, it is with absolute pleasure that I introduce not only a friend of mine, but I consider him a brother, my brother, Amir Khostavan.
What's up, Andy?
Good to see you, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for taking the time and doing the podcast with us.
For sure.
Rug Talk Podcast.
Yes,
so, we're going to have a good time with it. So, Amir, you have a really storied history. You are extremely talented. I have a lot of respect for you.
Thank you, sir.
From all the stuff that you do, creativity with music and your arts that you do. It's really impressive. But I know you also have a really beautiful business side of you that you've done a lot of different things. So we'll jump right into this. You've worked at Workday for 10 years now, doing video producing, and have worked with different stakeholders in the company, as well as working directly with the CEO. How's that experience been?
It's been great, man. Like when I started working for Workday back in 2014, which is crazy when I say it, like May is going to be the 10-year anniversary of me being there. I honestly didn't think I was going to last like 2 years, because it was my first foray into the corporate world. I was always used to working for much smaller companies, 10 people, 20 people, 40 people maximum. To work for a company that employs 15,000, 20,000 plus people worldwide was just never a thought in my mind. And so when I got the opportunity to work for Workday, it was something that I jumped on because I just wanted to know what the experience was like to work in a corporation, like in a corporate world that big. And I've been really lucky, man, because I've been able to work on projects as small as, a single video that's going out to a group of, let's say, 50, 60, 100 people that's communicating a change that's happening in their organization, to collaborating with CEOs and VPs and stuff on stuff that's being shown at conferences to thousands of people in attendance and being streamed worldwide. And the experience has been incredible. But the one thing that I've always taken away from it is that even though, let's say, for example, I'll work with like a single stakeholder on this small project versus working with this, like, let's say, C-level executive on this big project, the thing I've learned more than anything in my 10 years of Workday is that people are people. And people just want to be treated like you would treat yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I approach every single project, and I think the secret to my longevity at Workday and my longevity working on these projects and continuously being afforded the opportunity to work with folks like C-level executives and continuously being able to work on projects with individual contributors and stuff is the fact that I treat people the exact same way that I just would want to be treated. So I don't necessarily, treat anyone any differently, any higher, any lower, anything like that. Every project is important to me. Because at the end of the day, if the stakeholder's happy, if the person on camera is like satisfied with the way they look, and I know people are their biggest critics, right? So
absolutely,
when you watch yourself back on camera, you want to make sure you look good, you sound good. I'm very conscious of that. So when I'm producing someone, I want to make sure that they look the best they do, they sound the best they do, all that kind of stuff. And especially in the edit too, to make sure that, anything and everything that we can do to make them look as presentable, as best as they possibly could. That's the effort that I put in there, and it's done me well. So if I've learned anything in my 10 years is that, people just want to be treated the same way that you would want to be treated. If you were to walk into a business, how would you want that business to treat you?
For sure.
The exact same way, right?
But look, you have a great personality, man. It's easy to talk to you. and it's comfortable. So
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's a testament to you as well.
Thank you.
So look, you're running your own YouTube channel now, doing tech related videos.
Yeah.
How's that process been, and what have you learned for it? Because that's a really cool transition for you as well too.
Yeah, I laugh because so I'm 42, and it's interesting because I have really started to hone in and focus and kind of almost put pressure on myself to really understand and be successful in the YouTube game. And YouTube is this very interesting, ever-changing platform where you can go viral like this, or you try as hard as you can every single day. You push and you work and you grind it out, and you slowly but surely become successful. And my path is the latter, right? My path is, I try to make videos as much as I possibly can. And yeah, I got into it kind of haphazardly. I noticed that, instead of being on Netflix or Hulu or, Max or Disney or whatever, I was watching a ton of YouTube. And creators of all kinds, from your Mr. Beasts to, creators that I like Ali Abdaal, Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat, Matt Diavella. These are all guys who, and creators who I look up to and I respect, and they all have a very specific way of storytelling about them. They're educators. They inspire people to be better at their craft. Some of them are photographers. Some of them are like minimalists. Some of them are talking about like overall lifestyle, et cetera, et cetera. And I looked at it and I was like, you know what? Like, I've been making videos my entire life. Yeah, I've made videos for other people my entire life. I wonder if I could do this for myself. And it started out as a hobby, and it still very much is. But I've had traction on a few videos that have done well, and they're about the most random topics. My most successful video is about Mint Mobile, which is a cell phone company.
That's awesome.
And just like my review of it, but it's taken off, and just by people watching that video and clicking the link to clicking my recommended link for them to sign up for Mint Mobile, I've gotten a year of cell phone service for free.
Amazing.
So I mean, like, there have been perks that have come with it, but I've learned so much. I read books about YouTube all the time. I watch videos about how to be a better YouTuber, how to understand analytics, how to do research, how to piece things together, and I'm still learning, right? I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers at the time that we're recording this right now. And my goal is 5,000 by June.
Let's get you to 10.
Yeah, no, I mean, my goal, I would love that. My goal is 5,000 by June. If we can get 10, awesome. But I very much want this to be the next step in my career. I very much want it to be something that I do on a regular basis, where I create content weekly. If I could do twice a week, awesome. But at least once a week. And I love the idea of it because I could be anywhere in the world and make content. I could be anywhere in the world and make videos. I don't necessarily have to be like in San Jose, California. I don't necessarily have to be in LA or New York or Miami, wherever. I could be anywhere and film myself and make content and edit it together and put it out there in the world. So that idea really, really intrigues me. And it's just one of those things where I think that I'm learning, because with social media, instant gratification is like the drug, right?
We live
like
in instant gratification
100%.
world.
You put a post up, 5 minutes later, you're already looking at it, seeing how many people liked it, who commented, whatever. I've learned, or I've had to learn, I'm still in the process of learning, I'm still trying to learn that, like, it's not necessarily about that. It's about the long game, right? Because my most successful videos on YouTube were videos that the first month did no numbers. 5 views, 10 views, 20 views tops. And now they're at 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 views. There are videos that very, like, if you look at the graph, it's very much like this, right? Sure. So I have to kind of get used to the idea of like, hey, it's not going to pop off immediately, right? Like, I'm not making content that's going viral. But that's consciously too. I'm not trying to make content that's just like clickbait or anything like that. I'm creating educational content about tech, about content creation, how to put videos together. I'm talking more and more about music production in my videos as well. So those are things that I'm passionate about talking about, and I'm passionate about passing that knowledge on to people, because it's just stuff that took me a while to learn. And so, that's kind of the process of where my channel is going, but I love it. It's super fun for me.
Yeah, I'm a big believer that, if you have a passion for something, if you want to even do something,
yeah,
you got to do it. You got to take the steps. You got to be positive about it and put it out there and see what happens. Like, that's naturally who I am as a business person or as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I love hearing stories of people saying, look, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to do it. If you fail, you fail. If not, then hey,
At least try.
you got to try.
Yeah.
So hats off to you, man. I love hearing that.
Thank you.
So look, I've known you since I was a kid, and I know how incredibly talented you are in music. You've been in music all your life, and you've had a successful music career collaborating with some of the greatest artists in the international community. How has music shaped your life and helped you in the business world?
Oh, man. Well, music shaped my life dramatically. I'm a only child to two musicians, so shout out to them. My mom's a singer, in my opinion, one of the best female Iranian singers in the world. My dad is an amazing songwriter and a musician. And so I grew up in a house where music was the constant. If nothing else, music was the constant, you know. And so it's very much shaped my life. It's very much shaped my being. Growing up, I would be in class and my teacher would talk. And I don't know if you've ever seen like the Charlie Brown or Snoopy episodes, but when the teacher talks, it's like trumpets out that wah, 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 wah. Like that's what I heard. I never heard my teacher talking to me. All I heard
You
in
were
my head
composing music.
I was composing music in my head, man. I was writing notes down. I was like, whatever. Like terrible student. Don't do what I did. I was a terrible student. But if anything, it gave me kind of like an end goal, right? I wanted to get through school and do everything that I needed to do so that I could play music, right? So that I could follow my dreams of being this world-traveling musician, a songwriter, all that kind of stuff. So how that relates to the business world is that being a musician, if nothing else, has taught me patience and discipline. Growing up, everyone has always told me, "Oh my God, you're so talented! Oh my God, I wish I had your talent! Oh, I wish I could play piano like you." And I don't know if you remember,
Which is pretty amazing.
We had this conversation a couple months back. We all went to you, me, and a couple of friends of ours. We went to a steakhouse to celebrate my birthday. We had this discussion about talent.
Yeah.
And I have what I think maybe it's a controversial opinion, but I don't necessarily think talent exists. I think there are some people that have advantages over others, right? I grew up in a house with musicians. I think it'd be asinine if I didn't play music. Like it would be really weird if I didn't.
It would be wrong.
It would be weird, right? And so that's why you see so many children follow in their parents' footsteps. You know, you got Julio Iglesias and then you got Enrique Iglesias. You know, in the wrestling world, you've got Dusty Rhodes and you got Cody Rhodes. In like the business world, you got, so-and-so and so-and-so. Like it just kind of, there's always a lineage that follows. Sure. That lineage is like, really harped upon in a lot of industries. Just saying that I'm talented or just saying that so-and-so is talented doesn't put into account all the work that person did to get to where they're at. I mean, I was kicking and screaming to my first piano lesson when I was 6 years old. I did not want to go. My dad was very adamant. He's like, "No, you got to go, man." And I'm glad he did, because I took piano lessons for 10 years consistently, no breaks. From there in high school, jazz band, band, all that kind of stuff. So got to play a multitude of different music. So there was a lot of work that got put into, my talent, if you will, my ability to play music, until I started showcasing myself. And I was a very shy person. I didn't start playing until I was like 16, 17 in front of people. And so I like 16, 17, when I started playing and I started winning talent shows and I started, winning awards and stuff, and people were like, "Oh my God, you're so talented." It's like, yeah, but there's all this work that got put into it before,
which they don't see.
I approach my success in the business world the exact same way. It's easy to say that, like, oh, he's a really talented, producer or editor, and I've been lucky enough where, like, people have appreciated my work in the corporate world. I've been known for my editing skills or my producing skills or my on-camera skills. And so it's always like, I recently had a conversation with my manager about this. Like, "Oh, it comes so easy to you." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's because I put so much work behind it."
Absolutely.
And I approach the business world the same thing. By the time I opened up my own full-fledged business in 2010. My family and I opened up a business called Tavan Music Academy that's still going today. It's private one-on-one instruction for piano, guitar, vocals, violin, flute, etc., etc. And when we started, it was a dinky little space in the corner of a mall where I taught like 2 or 3 people. And today we have hundreds of students, 15 plus instructors. Business is stronger than ever. And when I started that business, I applied everything that I had learned as a musician into how I run that business. The patience of finding people, of educating people, of building a team, of instructing them on how we're going to move forward, how we're going to treat people, and then taking that love of music and taking that, the 14, 15, 16, 20 years of musical education that I had picked up on my journey and passing it off to the students in a way that was fun and engaging, really resonated with everyone and really was the reason why the school became successful and continues to be successful.
So, look, another thing that people really don't know about you, you were actually born in Miami. Shout out to Miami, because me and my wife love going to Miami. It's like one of our favorite.
You've gone more than I've gone.
I've gone there a lot. So, you were born in Miami, but yet you still have your roots of where your family is originally from. So, both of us are products of our parents who moved here from the to the United States, a new country, a new language, and new customs. How has that experience of growing up in that environment helped shape you in the business world? And just in general, how has it shaped you as a person, really?
I have grown to become extremely proud of where I come from and how I was raised and who raised me and all that stuff. I think being a dad really put into perspective what my upbringing meant to me. And my upbringing was a very Iranian upbringing, listening to Persian music all day, every day, eating Persian food all day, every day, and very much, which we all love. If you haven't eaten Persian food, man, you're missing out. And absolutely being raised in the customs of the culture, right? And that means respecting your elders. That means saying hello and goodbye. That means, listening. That means, being attentive. That means being respectful, et cetera, all that kind of stuff. But that also means standing up for yourself. That also means, not lounging around and working hard and being smart and being the best that you can possibly be, right? So these are all things that I have applied to, honestly, any endeavor I've ever been a part of, whether it's opening up a music school, whether it's, doing this YouTube channel. Every now and then when I do the YouTube channel, I wake up sometimes and I go, man, I wish I could just grab my phone, film something real quick and put it out there. And I can't do it, because the minute that I look foolish, or I think I look foolish, or I think it looks unprofessional, or I think, man, no, I know I can do better than this.
You got to do things the right way.
There are things I can't do it, because in the back of my head, I'm like, no, man, I'm not. It's not just me. There's this entire culture that's here.
That you represent.
That's represented here, right? And so I take that with me. I'm very, very proud of that. And it's one of those things where, even in the corporate world, always being respectful, always being open to criticism, critiques, anything, right? And just learning and asking questions, and not necessarily being the smartest guy in the room, but being the most attentive, being the hardest working, right? And so those are the things I've always taken with myself. Those are the things that I've always taken and applied to myself when working in any venture, be it business, be it professional, be it personal, right? And so, I think the culture, the Iranian culture, is a very strong and proud one, especially now.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I love it, and the more we band together, and the more we help each other out, like what you're doing with the podcast and stuff, I think the stronger we become.
For sure. And look, our generation is unique in the sense that, look, we had a taste and a flavor and an upbringing with our parents and that whole foundation.
Yeah.
But yet we still are in the know of the pop culture. We're still very modernized.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and we're able to share both of those experiences to the people that are up and coming, and to express to them, look, it's okay to, have access to your past and your roots and your family. It's
and still embrace the environment that you're in, right?
Absolutely.
Not shunning like the American. I'm absolutely, and I say this all the time. I'm 100,000% Iranian American. I'm not Iranian. I'm not American. I am absolutely both. I can't be one without the other.
Yeah, and because both cultures raised us, and we got
absolutely
a taste of both, and they're both absolutely amazing. So.
Absolutely.
Really great, man. Look, we're gonna jump into the rapid round.
Let's do it.
Which is the really fun
I'm
part
ready.
of the Rug Talk podcast.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
It's basically here to make this a fun and great experience.
This hasn't been fun already?
It's been but to give people a little bit more insight about you, and again, just have fun with it. So I'm gonna ask you some questions, and let me know.
Let's do it.
Favorite place you visited and why?
Oh, okay. It's this resort in Mexico. It's called Palmaya. It's in the city of Playa del Carmen. Man, it's paradise on earth, man.
And I remember you telling me the story, and I was like, wow,
That
sounds amazing.
It's all inclusive. It's very expensive,
But you got to check it out.
but I love it.
You got to check it out.
The food is phenomenal.
So, if you had a chance to choose shot of vodka, tequila, or whiskey, and why?
I don't like vodka anymore. It's either tequila or whiskey, and tequila.
So we're gonna make it happen.
Let's go. Let's
so
do it.
Part of the Rug Talk podcast, we got some amazing drinks,
I'm ready.
and Amir said he likes tequila. So look, we're gonna put this out here, and
Yeah.
we're gonna.
Technically, I've become a mezcal guy, but I like the tequila.
So by all
Closest thing.
here's your shot, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
We're gonna enjoy this. This is one of my favorite tequilas too. So it's nice and smooth.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
You want ice?
Sure, I'll take some ice on this one. So shout out to my wife Megan for setting this incredible display up for us.
Shout out, Megan.
Shout out Megan for doing that. Thank you so much. This is pretty nice and smooth.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Ooh, that's good. All right.
That's fantastic. Okay.
So favorite rug, antique, transitional, modern, and why?
It has to be antique, man. It goes back to what we were talking about with the whole culture thing and our just growing up, my childhood. I had Persian rugs everywhere.
That's right. All right.
Yeah.
So favorite sport to watch or play?
Play volleyball because I'm decent at it.
Well, you're pretty good at it.
I'm not an athletic person. I'm decent at volleyball. Watch football, American football all day. Born in Miami. Hardcore Dolphins fan. It hurts my heart every time I talk about them because I'm a masochist. It is what it is. But yeah, no, they're my favorite. They're my favorite team.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Favorite music?
Has to be hard rock. I've been a rock dude my entire life. I vividly remember listening to November Rain by Guns N' Roses and Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana at the same time. And I heard those two songs and I was like, yep. That's where I want to go. All my friends, you included, were like Tupac and rap and whatever, and I was that dude over there. It was the weird rock guy.
Nothing wrong with it, man.
And it's
like
still what it is. Yeah, I love rock music. Deftones are my favorite band from Sacramento.
Amazing.
I love rock music.
All right, favorite car?
I would say my current car, which is a Tesla, but
I was going to say no Tesla because I know you're a big techies, but you can't say Tesla.
Sounds like such a typical Persian man answer. BMW. I love the look of it. So sleek. They drive so well.
And you like manual. I
love manual.
Like
the
manual.
stick shift manual. If I could drive my
Hard to find these days.
if I can drive my 2001 stick shift 3 Series, it's over. That was my favorite car in the world. Yeah.
All right. Poker, backgammon, pool, or ping pong?
I like all 4 of them. I like to think that I'm decent at all 4. Backgammon, obviously the history again, part of our culture.
Love backgammon.
Iranians play backgammon all the time. Takhte.
Absolutely.
Love ping pong. I love playing billiards or pool. Hold'em, Texas Hold'em, poker, man. So many great memories. Just getting the guys together and playing poker. And yeah,
so many good.
So I love playing poker for sure.
All right, summer or winter?
I am a summer guy, but I'm more of a fall guy. I love, October is Halloween and my wife's birthday. November is my birthday and Thanksgiving. December is Christmas and then New Year's. There's so many celebrations that happen in fall that I absolutely love fall.
You gravitate towards
Yeah.
that. Sweet. All right. Place where you would love to perform your music.
Favorite place that I have performed ever is when we worked together and we did a show together at the top of Hotel Valentia here in Santana Row.
That was a great event.
That was such an amazing experience, and just being outdoors and with everyone there and the sponsors and the this and the that and the crowd and the music and the whole vibe was excellent. I'd love to perform at the Greek Theater. There's one in Berkeley. There's one in Los Angeles. They're both outdoor venues. They're both gorgeous. Be an immense privilege to play at either one of those venues.
And that's going to eventually happen. You put it out.
Yeah.
All right. Coffee or tea?
I was off caffeine for a very long time, for about 15 years, but my wife got me back into tea. So now I'm a morning tea guy.
Sweet.
No coffee.
Amir, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the Rock Talk podcast, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making the time.
Yeah.
It's always a great pleasure to see you, and all the success to you, brother.
Likewise to you. Thank you, sir.
Hey guys, thanks for joining in on another episode of the Rock Talk podcast. Make sure to follow us on our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Looking forward to bringing you guys more content and interviews. Till next time, cheers.